That was pretty bad. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna undo. This is the Unit 3 Lesson 4 retrieval. In our packet, it starts on page 36. Okay, solve the equations for x. So I'm gonna think of each of these as a scale. Okay, perfectly balanced to start with. Everything's perfectly balanced. If I do something to one side of the scale, I need to do it to the other side as well. So like this negative 2x over here, if I'm gonna undo a negative 2x, I need to add 2x. If I add 2x to the right, I have to do that to the left as well. So it's like I'm adding 2 apples to the right side of the scale. I have to add 2 apples to the left side of the scale as well. Okay, so that will turn into 4x plus 2x is 6x on the left. Negative 2x plus 2x went away, so I just have negative 18. Now I'm going to do a similar thing here. This plus 12, I want to undo that. So I'm going to subtract 12. That's the opposite of adding. Wow, I'm immediately out of room. 6x, now the positive 12 minus 12, that goes away. Negative 18 minus 12 is negative 30. Now we just have to think 6 times what would give us negative 30? I think that would have to be negative 5. You can kind of guess and check, or you could take negative 30 and divide by 6. All right, we're going to skip number 2 and jump down to number 3. It says list the key features of the function. So we're going to do the normal features that we've been practicing in the first half of the unit. Okay, I'm going to start by drawing a box around this function just to kind of capture it. And I'm going to use the line tool and... Wait, what? Why is it doing that? No, oh gosh. Okay, you know what? This isn't working. And I'm going to make it purposefully a little wiggly so that you can't tell how bad the rectangle is. Yeah, that was on purpose. So if you say it was on purpose, then it wasn't a mistake. Okay, let's start with domain and range. Okay, domain is the possible x values. So we're thinking from left to right, what are all the possible x values? Looks like the smallest x value is negative 5. I kind of drew over it. So negative 5. Largest x value all the way over here is at 6, 7, 8. I'm going to use square brackets because it's the starting and ending point of the interval. Since it's the start and the end, square brackets, not parentheses. Range, we're going up and down in the y direction, so smallest y value is negative 4. Largest y value looks like it's 1. Once again, square brackets because it's the start and the end of an interval. Okay, next I'm going to switch colors. We're going to do increase in blue and we'll do decrease in orange. So it looks like the first thing we're doing here is decreasing, then increasing. Now here it changes direction a little bit, but still increasing. And then decreasing again. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. The decrease here starts at negative 5. Since it's the beginning of the graph, I'm going to use a square bracket. So negative 5 is where we start. And then it looks like it ends at 0. And I'm using a parenthesis there because we're in the middle of the graph, not at the end. Okay, this chunk right here starts at 0. And then it looks like it goes until 5. Remember, it's okay that it kind of changes slope or changes direction a little bit. It's still increasing, so we'll say from 0 to 5. No need to split that into 2 parts. And then decreasing again from 5 till the end, which happens at 8. And so we're going to do a square bracket on the 8 because that's the end. Okay, remember domain, range, increase, and decrease are all intervals. It's like a section or like a chunk of time. Domain, increase, and decrease are all using x values. Range is the only one here using y values. Okay, next let's identify the maximum and the minimum. So the maximum point looks like it's right here. That's the highest spot. Maximums and minimums are single points. They're like locations. They're not intervals of time or intervals of a graph. They're just a single location. So we're using parentheses and we're just going to list the x, y values. So this maximum right here is at 5, 1. The minimum is this down here. This looks like the lowest point, and that point is at 0, -4. Okay, what else do we need? Probably the x and y intercept. Wow, beautiful handwriting. So great. X-intercept is where the graph crosses or touches the x-axis. So I see two locations where that's happening. One of them is at 2, 3, 0, and the other is at 8, 8, 0. The y-intercept is where it crosses or touches the y-axis, and I see one of those, 0, -4. Same as the minimum. Two other things to note about this graph. It is a function. Spoiler, they did call it a function, but it's a function. And it's also continuous because we don't have like disconnected pieces. It's continuous from -5 to 8. That was a good review of literally everything we've done so far. Cool.